You know, there's nothing better to either begin or end your day with than a nice hot and steamy shower to both clear your mind and loosen your tense muscles. While many healthy functioning members of society like to take a short shower once a day before or after a hard day's work of education or labor-intensive and mind-straining work, I personally like to shower for nearly 30 minutes on the highest temperature mode possible to distract myself from the harsh reality that faces me outside my one and only escape from reality. And I know what you might be thinking. 30 minutes? What are you doing in there? Playing hacky sack? Sorting the mail? Deep diving? Well, since you asked, I in fact actually do nothing in the shower. Well, nothing involving physical activity, that is. I barely even wash myself most showers. Instead, I like to spend my showers doing a multitude of things that only require my good old brain of pure intelligence. Whether it be trying to find the solution to an equation on the glass shower walls, or coming up with a winning argument to a conversation I had all the way back in '09, all that matters is that the shower is where my brain reaches peak performance and is optimized to the highest degree humanly possible. Yeah, Bill Nye got nothing on me. But the one activity that takes up most of my shower time,
pizza time,
other than sitting on the floor and listening to nostalgic Christmas music, yes, even in the summer, isn't one obvious or apparent activity. It is instead a more broad and wide collection of thoughts and ideas. I like to call them shower thoughts.
pizza.
Yeah, no need to praise me, I know. I'm somewhat of a quirky original thinker. Here's a short example of a shower thought I thought of not too long ago. Are the people that drive ambulances called paramedics because they usually come in pairs, thus being a pair of medics? Yep. As you can see, I use my time very effectively, but nonetheless, why don't I and Meepigs inform you on some of our highlights when it comes to shower thoughts and the life-altering effects they may in fact leave on you.
Alright, the meaning of life. Yeah, we're starting big. Now, people may think this is a difficult question, so let a 17-year-old answer this question many have had, but have never gotten answered. Now to start, I want to say that you are the center of the world. Your world is just your life. There's so much more going on that you don't know about in the world, but it doesn't matter. For example, you could be walking downtown to a shop around, and a woman passes you by. She has her own life with her own issues and struggles, but you'll 99.99% of the time never get to know them. Many let this one thought experiment absolutely put them into a state of pure insignificance and a lack of purpose. But here's my thinking. Well, will they ever really be in your world? Probably not. So stop worrying. Just think of everyone else as an NPC or as an optional side quest. While some of you may want to 100% life, that is seemingly completely impossible. Now, with that thought on your mind, I would like to say that the meaning of life is devotion. This can be devotion to a god, devotion to your family, devotion to getting ripped. Really, whatever makes you keep going and gets you out of bed and on your feet. Unless, you have a disability that doesn't allow you to do so. Oh god, I'm gonna need another shower.
While Meepigs says to not waste your time on non-existent realities or experiences you'll never get to have simply due to not living in such a timeline where that woman you saw walking down the street became your significant other, I simply can't help but thinking about such scenarios on a constant daily basis. At this point, I'm pretty sure I've gotten married a total of 18 times, divorced 27 times, and widowed twice by now. No idea how that math adds up, but by now, I've lived so many entire lifetimes in the shower, and sometimes I wonder if the shower is some sort of portal to alternate realities and futures where your life is completely different. Oh yeah, and to show how mentally unstable I am, I'm pretty sure I've conjured up my own demise at least once every few months. And I have in fact cried like I was watching the beginning of Up every time. Either this means I have a strong possibility of becoming some sort of screenwriter, or I'm just severely deprived of human interaction. Maybe a bit of both?
While showering, I often find myself thinking about the thought of showering and thinking itself. Yep, that's right. And Tinix can testify with me on this one. We are both so full of constant existentialism that we often end up just thinking about the thought of thinking itself, which then leads to us thinking about how we are thinking about thinking, which then puts us on the track of thinking about how we are having thoughts of us thinking about thinking. Rinse and repeat a couple pages and you got yourself an award-winning indie film. Once you find yourself in the time loop, that is, thinking about thinking itself, the best course of action is to usually try to break the cycle by thinking about the past and some mistakes you've made, whether it be an interaction you had you wish you could have done better, or thinking about how you should have voiced something you were thinking. All the way back then. No matter the case, you have to try to break the cycle. Constant thoughts of, oh shit, my biceps looking huge.
Another thing I like to spend my time in the shower thinking about is all the foreshadowing, literary devices, writing flaws, predictable subplots, and reoccurring characters in my life, and how much of an interesting show it must be. Now, I know this may seem slightly insane, but hear me out. Ever since I was little, I've always thought of the possibility of life as being somewhat false, conjured, or directed by someone else. Now, I know this sounds like cult talk, but the possibility of life being a simulation or a TV show is so fascinating to me, and honestly, it's surprisingly fun to take a look throughout your life through the lens of some sort of production or ongoing series. And then when I watched The Truman Show starring Jim Carrey, I finally found a piece of media that put my similar thought processes and ideas to the big screen. And it was fascinating to see people share their thoughts of reality being false online. Now, do I actually believe that life is somewhat fake? No, of course not. I'm not that mentally deranged. But nonetheless, if you want to experience some existentialism, I'd suggest watching The Truman Show and then looking throughout your life and looking at it through the perspective of some sort of televised ongoing series. Have fun sleeping.
I still can't figure out if disabled people can use the phrase, get back on your feet.